we will start microorganism. Before starting microorganism, let's discuss some things. Beta, have you gone to kitchen? If you have gone to kitchen, then you have seen something different. Have you observed that thing? Definitely, that is happening in the summer. What I am saying that suppose you are keeping vegetable and milk in the kitchen in the morning, but in the summer timings you will see that when in the evening or it may be in the next day, you will see that your vegetable color will change and you will smell it. Then foul odor smell will be there. If you will taste it, then it will be soft, taste will be changed. So your vegetable color, smell, its texture changed due to what thing? That thing is only and only microbes, because microbes are present everywhere, surrounding us everywhere. If you will not wash your hand, then it will be in your hands, in the air, in the water, everywhere microorganisms are present. But we have to clean our surroundings to keep away from the microorganisms. So I was telling you about the microorganisms. So very good examples you will observe from the kitchen. Microorganisms always spoil food. Food can be spoiled by two ways. One is natural decay. If you will not do anything, slowly it will be decayed. Or second thing, if you will not refrigerate it, then it will, due to the microorganisms, spoiled and it will become the poisonous. That means contaminated food. So microorganisms contaminate food items, and that food items are not fit for the consumption, and that is a poisonous, or we can say toxic now. So that is the only work of the microorganisms. Now let's discuss what is microorganism. Microorganisms are the tiny particles which we cannot see by the naked eyes. Naked means by open eyes we cannot observe them. These we will see by the microscope only, because these are so small. These are present around us, but we cannot see. We will see it from the microscope only. What is microscope? Microscope, we can see that is a magnifying glass in which two glasses are there, and from that we will see the magnified image of a small tiny organism, that is known as a microscope. And microorganisms we will see from the microscope only. So that microorganisms, the size varies. Some are very small and some are, we can say, that a little more bigger, but that will be see from the microscope only. And these microorganisms have a varieties. We can say they are living in the groups and they can live in the individual only. So according to their behavior, according to their activities, microorganisms are classified, categorized, or microorganisms groups are available. When microorganisms live alone, then we will not just, we will classify it and we will study it. But microorganisms, when they will live in a groups, that is known as a colonies. That means group of microorganisms is known as a colonies. So from the group of microorganisms, we will see first of all it is a bacteria, because in the bacteria, after that protozoa, after that there is fungi, virus, algae. So from this classification, we will consider first of all bacteria. In the bacteria, what is there? Bacteria are the tiny microorganisms, and if you will consider the bacteria, अगर हम bacteria को consider करेंगे तो बहुत ही interesting phenomena है. Sometimes you are joking that in the nature क्या पहले आया, मुर्गी आया या अंडा? तो ना मुर्गी पहले आया ना अंडा. हमारे साइंस में सबसे पहले क्या आया? बैक्टीरिया. जब अर्थ के एटमॉस्फेयर में सर्कमस्टेंसेस की वजह से माइक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल पे बैक्टीरिया प्रोड्यूस हुआ, तो उस वक्त क्या चेंजेस हुए कि स्लोली अर्थ के ऊपर कार्बन, मीथेन, मॉइस्चर प्रोड्यूस हुआ, जिसने क्या किया, एक माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स को प्रोड्यूस किया. और वो माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑर्गेनिज्म क्या है? बैक्टीरिया. बैक्टीरिया क्या है, ओल्डेस्ट माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म है, और यही बैक्टीरिया है वैरायटी एडेप्टेशन रखता है, मतलब कि जो इसका रहने का तरीका है वो हर सर्कमस्टेंसेस में रह सकता है। बैक्टीरिया हाई टेम्परेचर पे भी रहता है, जब बहुत ज्यादा टेम्परेचर हो गया तभी ये सरवाइव करेगा, जब उस टेम्परेचर पे हम लोग सरवाइव नहीं कर सकते। इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा कि जब हम जर्म्स को किल कर रहे हैं, यानी हम कहेंगे कि वाटर के अंदर बैक्टीरिया है उसको किल कर रहे हैं, कम से कम 10 मिनट्स तक वी हैव टू किल द बैक्टीरिया बाय बॉइलिंग वाटर एट लीस्ट 10 minutes at 100 degree Celsius. Then only you will kill the bacteria. In this way, bacteria survive for a long at variety of adaptation at or at a high temperature, we can say. So bacteria, it is oldest microorganism, tiny microorganism, wider adaptability. At high temperature, it will survive, and it has different shapes and size also. According to the different shape and size, different names are there. You can see that its shape is rod-like. Rod-like shaped bacteria's name is Bacillus. And if shape of bacteria is like a sphere, then its name is Cocci. And the spiral shaped bacteria's name is Spirilla. And if its shape is coma, then it is known as the Vibrio. According to their shape, its name is there. So bacteria, some bacteria are that which are using oxygen during the respiration. So that respiration is known as the aerobic respiration. So some bacteria respire aerobically, and some bacteria are like that during the respiration they do not want oxygen. Means bacteria are that organism which are able to survive without oxygen also. So that respiration in which organisms will not take oxygen, that is known as the anaerobic respiration. So bacteria survive by the aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So in anaerobic respiration और aerobic respiration में क्या है कि aerobic respiration में जब respire कर रही है, यानी कि अपनी एक्टिविटीज में सांस लेके और जो हमने फूड लिया है उससे एनर्जी लेके और अपनी एक्टिविटीज कर रही है, उस वक्त उनको ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत नहीं है, तब वो तो क्या है एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन है। और कुछ बैक्टीरिया ऑक्सीजन को यूज कर रहे हैं तो वो क्या है एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन। तो इन एरोबिक और एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन के बिहाफ पे हमने बोला कि जो बैक्टीरिया हैं ऑक्सीजन के साथ भी रह सकते हैं, ऑक्सीजन के बगैर भी रह सकते हैं। और बैक्टीरिया क्या है, सबसे पुराना ऑर्गेनिज्म, सबसे पहले बैक्टीरिया बना था नेचर के अंदर। और बैक्टीरिया जो क्या है ओनली सिंगल सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म, एक ही सेल से बना है बैक्टीरिया और उसी सेल से ये अपनी सारी एक्टिविटीज कर रहा है। लेकिन बैक्टीरिया की शेप्स हम कहेंगे अलग अलग है, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग मैंने आपको बता दिया कि बैक्टीरिया की शेप क्या है, अलग अलग है। तो बैक्टीरिया सर्वाइव रेस्पिरेशन और एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन और एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन से कर रहा है, इसकी डिफरेंट शेप है और ये सिंगल सेलुलर है। इसके साथ ही बैक्टीरिया क्या है मल्टीप्लाई करेगा यानी रिप्रोड्यूस करेगा। रिप्रोडक्शन का जो मेथड है उसका नाम क्या है फिजन। नाम फिजन को मैं आगे बताऊंगी आपको कि फिजन का क्या मतलब होता है। लेकिन बैक्टीरिया जो है वो रिप्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, मल्टीप्लाई कर रहा है, एक बैक्टीरिया से बहुत सारे बैक्टीरिया बन रहे हैं, तो उसका नाम क्या है फिजन। नाउ डिस्कस द पैरामीशियम, डिस्कस द प्रोटोजोआस। Protozoa also microorganisms, and how bacteria are there, same way protozoas are there. Protozoas can be single cellular or multicellular, and here examples of protozoas are amoeba or paramecium, euglena. Amoeba, paramecium or euglena. But in the euglena what is there, it can be single cellular or multicellular, और it is classified as a plant also. यूग्लिना को हमने प्लांट में भी कंसीडर किया है। पैरामीशियम, यूग्लिना और we can say अमीबा, ये क्या है सारे के सारे सिंगल सेलुलर है और इनमें कुछ जो है वो मल्टी सेलुलर भी हो सकते हैं। उसकी कैटेगरी क्या है प्रोटोजोआ। बैक्टीरिया की जैसे बैक्टीरिया मल्टीप्लाई करता है उसी तरह से ये भी क्या है फिजन के थ्रू मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे। तो ये क्या है प्रोटोजोआ। अब मैं प्रोटोजोआ को समझा रही हूँ कि प्रोटोजोआ कैन बी सिंगल सेलुलर और मल्टी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म। इट विल मल्टीप्लाई बाय द फिजन Example of protozoas are amoeba, paramecium, or euglena. Euglena can be considered as a plant also. And side by side, parameciums, these are, we can say, that is an example of that disease causing microorganism by the amoeba and by the paramecium. And we can say whenever malaria is causing now, that is due to the paramecium. So paramecium, from the paramecium, plasmodium is there. In the plasmodium, that when female anaphylaxis will bite us, then the plasmodium will enter in our body. So in this way, these are the example of that protozoa. After the bacteria, protozoa, next we will consider the fungi. To understand the fungi, that fungi is completely different because this microorganisms comes in the plants as well as in the animals also. And if we will consider the fungi are single cellular, besides this is single cellular, these are the multicellular also. So fungi is present in the atmosphere in the singular cellular organism, multicellular organisms, that can be plants or that can be animals. So to consider the fungi, if fungi are as a plant, so these are non-green plants. For the non-green plants, these characteristics, fungi's characteristics are different from the, we can say, plants, because all plants are green, they are making their own food, they are autotrophic, but fungi are heterotrophic. They are not making their own food because they do not have green pigment, so that means they are non-green plants. So fungi's multicellular or single cellular organisms are there of the fungi, and fungi we can eat also. Have you seen the mushrooms? Mushrooms, vegetables, definitely we are eating. So mushroom vegetable is an example of a fungi. So in this way, the mushroom is that comes in the plant fungi. So fungi, they will spoil the food also. If you will consider the example of fungi is bread molds. Mold means if you spoil the bread. If you will keep the bread for a long duration in the moist condition, then you will see its surface will be greenish, whitish. Then this is known as the bread molds. So bread molds comes in the fungi. Second, yeast. Yeast is the example of fungi, and that is forming when we are making that cookies, we are making the bread, we are making that cakes, idli, dokla. These all things we are making. The one microorganism is known as a yeast that comes in the fungi. The yeast will do action, and then food items will become the fluffy. That is due to the fungi. So some examples of fungi are there: Aspergillus, Neurospira, Pansinium. These are the fungi which we cannot see from the naked eye. That is a microscopic fungi. After the microscopic fungi, we will consider the algae. Algae is small plants. If we will consider in the earth, first of all, in the plant, algae produced in the atmosphere. Very tiny plants, we can say, smallest plant, that is algae. और algae है क्या? When water is contaminated, आपका पानी जो है वो polluted हो गया है due to the excess use of fertilizers, and then it will run off. So algae produce हो जाता है जिसको काई बोलते हैं, green surface, इसलिए green surface will be there, that is known as algae. और वो क्या है? That is nutrient rich plants, that algae. और these algae can be single cellular or multicellular, and these organisms itself, algae are itself rich in the nutrients, and they have green pigment, chlorophyll, or these algae form their food themselves. So we will consider the Chlorella. Example of algae, Chlorella is a single cellular. Or if we will consider algae multicellular example, that is a Spirogyra. Spirogyra multicellular algae and Chlorella single cellular algae. In this way, algae, I have told you, that is a small or tiny plant which possesses ग्रीन पिगमेंट। एल्गी क्या है? सबसे छोटा प्लांट है जो क्या करता है, ग्रीन कलर का क्लोरोफिल इसके पास है और ये क्या कर रहा है, फूड बना रहा है। तो ये एल्गी क्या ऑटोट्रॉपिक है। एल्गी क्या होगा कि ये आपके पास सिंगल सेलुलर भी है और मल्टी सेलुलर भी है। एल्गी अपना फूड खुद बना रहा है। सिंगल सेलुलर का एग्जांपल क्या है, स्पाइरेला, और मल्टी सेलुलर का सिंगल सेलुलर का एग्जांपल क्या है, कॉलरेला, और मल्टी सेलुलर का एग्जांपल क्या है, स्पाइरेला। तो अब हमने क्या कर लिया, वी हैव डन बैक्टीरिया, after bacteria we have done protozoa, after protozoa fungi, after fungi we have done algae. Now we will do virus. To understand the virus we have categorized completely different. To understand the virus, it is not giving us sign of life, whether microscopic virus. One thing more, that is very 50 times smaller than the bacteria. Virus cannot be prevented to enter in a body by the mouth or by the nose with the mask, because these are 50 times smaller than the other microorganism, or we can say from the bacteria. And virus, they are not giving sign of life when they are around us. When it will enter in a body, in any single cellular organism cell or multicellular organism cell, or we can say even in the animals, tiny we can say or bigger, anywhere when the virus will enter, then only in the living cell it will show the sign of life. And after showing the sign of life, it will start multiplying, that means reproduction, and it will form its copy, multiple copy at a time. So virus, that is not giving us the sign of life. Virus क्या है, बैक्टीरिया से 50 टाइम छोटा है। ये एटमॉस्फेयर में कोई लाइफ साइन नहीं दिखाएगा। और क्या करेगा ये कि हमें लाइफ साइन नहीं दिखा रहा है, लेकिन जब ये हमारी बॉडी में या किसी भी सिंगल सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म की बॉडी में एंटर कर देगा, हो जाएगा, तो क्या होगा, ये मल्टीप्लाई करना शुरू हो जाएगा, यानी अपने जैसे ही कॉपी बनाएगा, रिप्रोडक्शन शुरू कर देगा, और इट विल फॉर्म अ सर्कमस्टेंसेस इन व्हिच सेल्स विल रप्चर, or we can say the organism's organ systems is not working properly, and it will cause disease, and that causes completely death causing disease, like cancer is due to the virus. And we can say AIDS is due to the virus, HIV virus, human immunovirus, so AIDS also due to the virus, dengue due to the virus, and we can say like this. Now COVID-19, very latest example of COVID-19, and whenever we are feeling cold, cough and fever, cold, cough and fever, that is due to the virus only. You have heard that the viral fever is there. The viral fever is due to the virus only. And latest example of COVID-19, that is also forming the cough, sneezing, we can say cold, pneumonia, these type of, and fever, these are type of symptoms are shown by the COVID-19. So COVID-19 also the virus that is present in the atmosphere, but it is not showing the sign of life that is present or not in the atmosphere, but when it will enter in our body, then it will start multiplying and it will cause a disease. So virus we have done. In the virus, that is completely different characteristics of a virus we have done. Microorganisms are useful as well as these are harmful for us, as somewhere they are playing very important role for in many things where we are getting benefits, like in industries, commercial purpose, and to make the food products, and in the environment also they are playing a very important role to clean the environment, and somewhere we will make that syrups also, beverages, and we can say coffees, these kind of things we will prepare with the help of microorganisms. So first we will discuss the useful microorganisms, or microorganisms, how they are useful for us. First of all, we will consider that food and beverage industries or uses, we can say food and beverages, like we will consider food, that the food items we will prepare by using the bacteria. How? If you have heard somewhere that yogurts are the we can say food products which are made by the milk, and whenever we will prepare by milk, then we will use the bacteria, and that bacteria name is Bacillus. Bacteria name is Lactobacillus. Lactobacillus bacteria helps us to make the curd. Whenever we have to make the curd from milk, then we will add a 1 teaspoon of curd into the warm milk. Then in curd, when which we are putting 1 teaspoon of curd, in that microorganisms are present. That microorganism name is Lactobacillus bacteria, which will convert milk into the curd. And same way, these bacteria only help us in the industries when we have to make the yogurts. And beside this, these bacteria, Lactobacillus bacteria, will help us to make the cottage cheese, curd, and other food products. So, in the food industries, we can say microorganisms are helping us. And another uses we will consider that in making of bread, pastries, cake, cookies. So, whenever we have to make the bread, what will be there? Yeast. Yeast is a kind of microorganism, comes in the fungi. The yeast, and at 180 degrees Celsius temperature, we will kill the yeast whenever it will be prepared. So, how it will prepare? Bread will prepare. We will take dough and little amount of sugar and water, and we will put now that yeast. Then one process will be there, keep in your mind, that is fermentation. Fermentation process, when it will be there, then it will, that yeast will start reproducing, it will respire, and it will release the carbon dioxide. When it will release carbon dioxide, then in the food, or we can say in the dough, it will make the spongy, porous and fluffy. Same phenomena will be there for making the cookies, for making the idli. Whenever that we have to make that cake, that time also this phenomena will be there. The fermentation by the only yeast cell. So when that fluffy dough we will get, we will prepare the bread, and then this process will be continued. So we have to kill the yeast, and we will kill the yeast at a 180 degrees Celsius temperature. Then our bread will be prepared, and we will use it. Same way that I have told you the fermentation process, when we will make the cookies, we will make the bread, we will make the cake. Then fermentation by the yeast. After that, fermentation will be there. From what is there in fermentation? Again, I am repeating. In the fermentation will be there. It may be yeast, it may be the bacteria. It will convert the food items, or it will start the reproduction, and respiring will be there. That time they will release the carbon dioxide, and somewhere that the acid will convert it to the alcohol. Next will be in the formation of idli, dosa, bhature. When we have to make the idli, dosa and bhature, then we are keeping the rice and dal mixture, the paste, for a long duration. Then what will be there? That time bacterial fermentation will be there, and bacteria will do action on that paste of the rice and dal, and we will keep for a long duration. We will not disturb it, and after this fermentation process will be there, bacteria will be reproduced, and then it will respire, it will release the carbon dioxide, and then it will prepare the batter for the we can say idli, for bhatura, and for the dosas. So when bread fermentation will be there, then yeast will be there, and when idli, dosa and bhature, then there will be action during the fermentation by the bacteria. Afterward, the beverages. Beverages means that some we can say wines, and we can say vinegar, wine, vinegar. These are the kind of beverages, or coffee we can say. So there will be also microbial action. When wine we have to prepare, then what will be there? The barley flour we can use in the barley, fruits, and we can say sugar only in warm water. Kind of things we can use to prepare the beer and wines. Then fermentation action will be there, and due to the fermentation action, it will convert that solution, we can say, of the only the sugar water solution will convert into the wines, we can say. So it will, in this way, in making the food products, yogurts, in the cookies, in the cakes, idli, dosa, bhature, or in the wines, the fermentation process will be there, and it will be that microorganisms will help to prepare the food. Bacteria are also used in the pharmaceutical industries. Pharmaceutical industries means when we have to make the drugs, or we can say medicines and antibiotics, antibodies, these things when we have to prepare, then it will come in the pharmaceutical uses. So in the pharmaceutical uses, first I will tell you that antibiotics. What are antibiotics? Antibiotics are, it will kill the disease causing microorganism, or it will slow down the growth of disease causing microorganisms, that is known as antibiotics. And whenever you are suffering from the fever, then doctor also prefer antibiotics. So it will just slow down, or it will kill the disease causing microorganisms. Antibiotics we have to take. Then beside this, we have to consider how the antibiotics prepared. First of all, first antibiotics prepared, that is known as a penicillin. Penicillin is prepared by the penicillium, and beside the penicillium, tetracycline, streptomycin, these also that antibiotics are there. Penicillin, how it is prepared, very interesting story is there that I will tell you. When penicillin was discovered by the Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming was a scientist who was just doing the discoveries, or we can say it was doing the experiments in the laboratories. And that time he has eaten some bread, or we can say some eatables. And that time he has to leave the lab, and he left for 2-3 days. When he came back and saw that plate which he has used for eating the food eatables, then he saw from the microscope, and what he saw, that some microorganisms are there which are coming to the food particles, and there only some microorganisms are there which are defending them, or we can say that they were trying to kill them. So he find that something is there which can kill the another microorganism, and he has taken and made the vaccine, we can say, make the antibiotic, that is known as the penicillin. Antibiotic for the penicillin, and that is now utilizing. First antibiotic was the penicillin. Antibiotics can be prepared by the bacteria, it can be prepared by the fungi. So examples of that we can say antibiotics will be penicillin, tetracycline, amoxicillin. These are the example of antibiotics. Bacteria is also microorganisms, bacteria and fungi. These kind of things also used in the vaccines. In the vaccines, you know about the vaccines. You must know about the vaccines, because in your childhood only you would have been injected by the vaccine, and injections or by the oral, or we can say that by the tablets, we are putting the vaccines in our body. When we are putting the vaccines in our body, then what will be there? These vaccines, when moves inside the body, then the body will prepare antibodies, and that antibodies remains in the patient's body, or we can say that the healthy human body also. And that time when there will be attack of the disease in the future, then these antibodies will prevent from us the different kind of disease. Due to this only, in the childhood only, there will be vaccination program. In the childhood, we are injecting the kind of injections like the BCG, that from the pulse polio program, the pulse drops also. The kind of that injections are there in the during the vaccination from the, we can say, from the infant to the 12 or 13 year is that we are injecting the vaccination, and in advance only we will put the vaccine in our body. Whenever that disease causing, certain disease causing microorganism will enter in our body, then that vaccine we have introduced in the childhood in our body will prepare antibody and it will fight against the disease. So vaccination is very important. So there will be helpful for the future when the injections or vaccination will be there. So common example of vaccinations are that we can say vaccination for the malaria, for chicken pox, for polio, and we can say that now that chicken pox, we can say smallpox or chicken pox, that is completely eradicated from the world. And the same way pulse polio also 95% from the pulse polio program, 95% we have polio eradicated. So in this way vaccines are very important and vaccination programs also very important. And how we got the vaccinations and vaccines? By the microorganisms. In this way we have discussed the importance or useful act of the microorganisms. Now that microorganisms also help us in the agriculture. So in the agriculture means microorganisms help us to make the soil fertile. That how soil will become fertile by the action of a microorganism, we will tell. We will discuss this that by the plant waste, by the, we can say by the help of fungi and bacteria, plant waste, animal waste, or we can say dry leaves or bark of the leaf or that stem part, waste of the that plants. It will start decomposing, and after the decomposing it will start decaying. It may be by the fungi or by the bacteria, and then it will convert into the humus or manure. In this way that nutrients, we can say that organic matter will go to the soil and soil will become the fertile. Same way, somewhere some bacteria are there, or we can say blue-green algae. Some bacteria, blue-green algae help us to fix the nitrogen and move to the soil. Then these are known as the nitrogen fixer bacteria or nitrogen fixer microorganisms. Nitrogen fixer बैक्टीरिया माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म का मतलब क्या है कि जो एटमॉस्फेयर में नाइट्रोजन है बहुत ज्यादा है, लेकिन डायरेक्टली प्लांट्स उसको नहीं ले सकते। तो प्लांट जिस फॉर्म में नाइट्रोजन को लेंगे उस फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए क्या होता है, एटमॉस्फेयर में हमारे पास क्या है, कुछ बैक्टीरिया है और क्या है, ब्लू ग्रीन एल्गे हैं। जो ब्लू ग्रीन एल्गे और जो बैक्टीरिया है वो क्या कर रहा है, जो एटमॉस्फेयर की नाइट्रोजन है उसको क्या करेगा, नाइट्रोजनस कंपाउंड में कन्वर्ट करेगा और सॉइल में रिलीज कर देगा, जिससे प्लांट्स क्या करेंगे, जहाँ जो सॉइल है वो सॉइल क्या हो जाएगी, नाइट्रोजन रिच हो जाएगी, उसकी सॉइल की नाइट्रोजन के थ्रू फर्टिलिटी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी और प्लांट्स ग्रोथ बहुत अच्छी होगी। तो इस तरह से क्या होता है कि एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड के अंदर नाइट्रोजन इंक्रीज होगी और नाइट्रोजन इंक्रीज होगी तो क्या हो गया, फर्टिलिटी बढ़ गई। इसी तरह से एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड के अंदर फंजाइज जो क्या करती है, डिके मैटर को डिके करते जाते हैं और क्या हो जाता है, ह्यूमस बन जाता है। और ह्यूमस क्या है, दैट इज ऑर्गेनिक रिच है। और इसी तरह से जो प्लांट वेस्ट है और हम कह सकते हैं ह्यूमन वेस्ट है, फूड वेस्ट है, वो क्या होता है, बैक्टीरियल एक्शन से स्मॉल पार्ट्स में डिकम्पोज हो जाता है और क्या बन जाता है, मैन्योर बन जाता है। और मैन्योर से क्या हो जाएगा, सॉइल जो है वो ऑर्गेनिक रिच हो जाएगी। ऑर्गेनिक रिच होने से क्या है, सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी इंक्रीज हो जाएगी। तो इस तरह से माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स क्या है, सॉइल को फर्टाइल करने में भी हेल्प करते हैं। तो ये क्या है कि अगर सॉइल फर्टाइल होगी तो क्या होगा, दैट विल बी हेल्पफुल इन द एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड। नाउ क्लीनिंग द एनवायरनमेंट, microorganisms help us to clean the environment also, because if you have gone to the forestries, in the forestries you will see there is no waste, because the waste of the plants and waste of the animals is decomposed by the bacteria, then it will clean itself. So forestries, that is clean only. In this way, in the environment also, if you will see surrounding us, bacteria and fungi are there. The bacteria and fungi decompose the waste, which are the biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste are decomposed by the bacteria and fungi, and it will clean the environment. And beside this, algae is there. algae also microorganism. Algae, when it will respire, then it will release the oxygen. So most of oxygen we are getting from the algae, because algae are the tiny plants, or that tiny plants, it is like the silky form of a green layer on the water bodies. That is only the small plants, and they will behave like a plant during the photosynthesis, because these are small plants and these they will perform photosynthesis process, and when it will perform the photosynthesis process, then oxygen also release. तो यहाँ पे क्या है कि एटमोस्फेयर को क्लीन करना है, तो जो हमारा बैक्टीरिया है या फंजाई है, ये क्या कर रहे हैं, बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट जो है उसको क्या कर रहे हैं, डिकम्पोज कर रहे हैं, और डिकम्पोज करने से क्या हो रहा है, वो एक ऑर्गेनिक मैटर के अंदर कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, ह्यूमस और मैन्योर के अंदर। तो हमारा जो फॉरेस्ट्री है, या हम कहेंगे सराउंडिंग जो बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट है, वो क्या हो गया, अपने आप डिकम्पोज हो गया और एनवायरनमेंट हमारा क्लीन हो गया। इसके साथ ही जो एल्गे है, एल्गे वी कैन से माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म है, लेकिन एल्गे को हमने किस में कंसीडर किया है, स्मॉल टाइनी प्लांट्स में। छोटे से छोटा प्लांट है, सबसे छोटा प्लांट क्या है, एल्गे। और एल्गे क्या है, ग्रीन कलर का है। तो ये क्या करेगा, ऑटोट्रॉपिक न्यूट्रिशन दिखाएगा, और क्या करेगा, फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रोसेस करेगा। जब फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रोसेस करेगा तो क्या होगा, ये क्या करेगा, ऑक्सीजन को रिलीज करेगा। तो एटमोस्फेयर में एक बहुत अच्छा जो परसेंटेज है ऑक्सीजन रिलीज होने का, वो हमें कहाँ से मिलता है, एल्गे से मिलता है। तो इस तरह से माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म हमें एनवायरनमेंट को क्लीन करने में हेल्प करते हैं। Here we will discuss how the microorganisms are harmful for us. Where the microorganisms help us in the food production industries, in the commercial purpose, we can say in the food items, in the pharmaceutical industries to make the vaccines or antibiotics, and to clean the environment. Beside these things, microorganisms very harmful for us. We will discuss how microorganisms are harmful for us. First off, there will be that the disease causing microorganisms. So what are the disease causing microorganisms? So some microorganisms, when it will enter to our body, then it will cause a disease, and that is known as the pathogens. Pathogens means disease causing microorganisms, and these kind of the disease which will cause due to the microorganisms, it will enter by the microorganisms will enter by the air, water, and by the contact. Then this kind of disease is known as a communicable disease. So in the communicable disease, we will consider that how microorganisms will enter in our body. So as you know, the microorganisms are present in the air, water, even in the soil or surrounding us. Everywhere microorganisms are present. If any person is unhealthy, then by the contact of the unhealthy person, it may be by the sneezing, or it may be by the during the breathing, that microorganisms can move to the healthy person during the inhaling, or we can say by the contact. So this is the one kind of transmission. Same way, if suppose one person is suffering from the malaria, and any that mosquito will bite that unhealthy person suffering from the malaria, then it will take the paramecium, yeah, we can say that plasmodium, and it will send to the healthy person. In this way, malaria will that spread. Or whether malaria, how malaria will cause, because female anopheles mosquito, when it will bite to the person, then it will cause the malaria to that person. And that dengue is also communicable disease. It is separating by the Aedes mosquito, female Aedes mosquito. When it will bite any person, then it will suffer by the dengue. So in this way, these are disease causing microorganisms. But by the unhealthy person to the healthy person, it will transfer by the enemy mosquito. When it will bite to the unhealthy to healthy, then also it can transfer. In this way, this is the second type of transmission. In the third type of transmission, what will be there? It is spreading by the flies also. When the flies sit on the garbage, or we can say when the on the garbage there is many bacteria or that microorganisms are present, then it will stick to the flies, and when these flies will go to the that eatables which we want to consume, and if it will sit, then the sticky organisms will go to the food items and which we will consume. If we will consume that kind of food particles or food eatables, then what will be there? That it can be carrier for the typhoid, or it can be carrier for the dysentery or cholera. So in this way, in this way it will cause the disease. So these kind of in this way there will be the kind of transmission. In these things, somewhere we carrier. Carrier means who will carry the organisms. So air, water, and we can say that eatables things, air, water, these will be behave like a carrier. So it will carry the microorganisms to us, and microorganisms spoil our food, or we can say that it is performing the food spoilage. In the food spoilage, when food is spoiled, that means it is not fit for the consumption, and now if we will consume it, then there will be the food poisoning. So bacteria and fungi spoil the food. How we will detect the food is not fit for the consumption? If we will see that the surface of the food is has changed the color, and after smelling it will give us the foul odor smell, and the thread like whitish layer will perform. Bubbles can be there. If these symptoms are there in the food, then we will say that food is not fit for the consumption, and food is now poisonous or toxic. It can cause even the food poisoning or death. Besides this, if you will consider that fungi will spoil that fruits, vegetables, pickles, juices, jam, jellies. These food items are spoiled by the fungi. And if we will say that fruits and vegetables and meat and fishes, like these food items are spoiled by the bacteria. So bacteria and fungi both will perform an action on the food and make it contaminated. So bacteria, in this way, bacteria are harmful in two ways. We can say by the disease causing microorganism and by the food spoilage. How food we can preserve? How food can preserve? By the food contamination of the food or by the microbial action. Because we have to consume food for a long duration, so it's very essential that must be from the bacterial action free. So there is different methods which we will discuss. First of all, very common method we will use. How we will prevent the milk. At home we are just boiling the milk and then we are keeping. This is a common example of the pasteurization. That if you will consider the pasteurization technique is given by the Louis Pasteur. In the pasteurization technique, pasteurization technique is used for the milk and the water. In this, at 70 degrees Celsius, we will warm the milk, and then rapidly we will cool it and keep for we can say 6-7 hours. We can use after 6 or 7 hours. We can use after that. If for more long duration we will use, then we will use UHT, ultra heat treatment method. Ultra heat treatment method in which we will warm the milk at a 140 degrees Celsius temperature and we will rapidly cool it, and we will supply it in the Tetra polypacks. The Tetra polypacks that can use up to 6 months, that is available in the market. So pasteurization technique is used to kill the germs present in the water and the milk, and then rapidly we will cool. So pasteurization, it will be vary according to the content, according to the temperature or according to the cooling timings. So the pasteurization technique in this, that once we will warm and then we will cool and then we will keep for some time. So that comes in the pasteurization technique. After pasteurization technique, we will consider the drying. Drying means when grains are coming in the market, before bringing in the market, what we are doing, we are keeping under the sunlight, so that the moisture present in the seeds or grains will be evaporated. Same way for long duration, which seeds we have to use, or we can say some that vegetables we have to use like pea. Then we will put on, in the under the sunlight, and that it will dehydrated because moisture present in these will be evaporated, and we can keep that food for a long duration. This method is known as a dehydration or drying. Next method we will use, that is known as a canning. In a canning, after the processed food, we will keep the food in the cans. Metal can is there, and then we will pack it. So that is known as a packed food. And the packed food can be used according to the processed, what process is there. That it can be for the after within the 6 months, or it may be within the 1 month, 2 months. It can be consumed. After that, that food will be not fit for the consumption. Besides this, we can use some chemicals like sodium benzoate and many other chemicals we will use. That some fruits and some vegetables to make the pickles for long duration we will use. So simply we will use the oil in this chemical method. Oil we will use for the fishes, for the vegetables, for the pickles when we have to make. Then oil will slow the growth down of the microorganisms and keep the raw these things for a long duration. Beside that oil, we can use the salt. Salt can use for the fishes and for the fruits and vegetables. That after that, sugar can use for the jam, jellies. Then we are using sugar that can keep for a long duration. So sugar, salt, oil, and some other chemicals we will use for the food preservation.